don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good afternoon, Kevin Hastings and Hunter Yancey, live episode 29 of JOXX on ktcbroadcasting.com, wherever your podcast are listened to, Apple, Spotify, or wherever else. We put ours, we run ours through anchor.fm. If you want to go straight to our podcast page, you can go there. And we've had a big weekend here on KTC going forward. This weekend, Hunter, we've got NASCAR racing, we've got Charlotte Hornets basketball, we've got ACC tournament, and ladies and gentlemen, the Shelby Golden Lions, one of our local high school teams, for you folks not from around here that'll be listening and watching, just won on Saturday up in Hickory, big time over Forest Hills, who put them out of the playoffs last year. They advanced to the state championship against Farmville Central, and they'll play them on next Saturday in Chapel Hill, the Smith Center, the Dean Dome, and Farmville Central is the defending champions. This Saturday and against Farmville, Forest Hills, and Farmville. That's who Shelby will be playing, and including Shelby, all three of those teams have not been beat by a 2A basketball school this year. I can hear you fine. Can you not hear me? You can hear you. Am I hitting? I'm not hitting. Check.
There I am.
Are you? Am I too? That's the problem.
Yeah. There you go.
I can hear you because I got the cue on. So when you turn off, then talk now.
I'm getting music too in the background.
Yeah, you shouldn't be getting any music.
I'm hearing music.
That may be coming from
country music.
That's coming from.
It's coming from that, so I shouldn't be worried about this.
Are you hearing a lot of it, or is it bleeding through?
No, I'm hearing every word. I'm hearing every word.
All right.
Anyways,
Hunter, what we got
now I can
NASCAR.
speak. Yes.
LA versus LA Hornets, UNC Duke, and some more on that.
Some more on that. Yeah, the Duke North Carolina game was actually really enjoyable to watch this past weekend. You're not getting anything through that. I might just be me. I might be wild.
Check Tom's headset. He's in a different one as well. That one may have had RF come
Yeah,
through.
I'm not getting anything here on Tom's. None of that music. So but I'm getting it here.
So something you've got some radiation or something.
Oh yeah, radiation feedback, whatever it is. We'll just roll with this. Doesn't matter. I might want something to listen to while if I'm just sitting here letting you talk and I'm just kind of vibing here. It's country music. It was really good. The Duke North Carolina game was fun. There was NASCAR this past weekend. Big NBA game, you said. Yep, LA versus LA. There's also a battle of the LAs over the leaked emblem. Whose emblem is it really? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
kind of weird.
It is weird. I don't know if you want to just I'll just let the fans know. So apparently somebody was data mining and they found a leaked image for the LA. They say it's the LA Rams leaked new logo that they're supposed to be coming out with. But if we're going to put it on the screen for you, it literally looks like a mixture of the LA Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers. A lot of people thought, oh, well, somebody just got it wrong. It's the other LA team. It's the Chargers. Dude, I can't tell the difference on any of them. I can't tell if it is the Rams or the Chargers. Look at that. For those of you that are listening, unfortunately, through podcast, it's just called just search new Rams logo leak, and I promise you'll be like, that looks like just the Chargers bolt kind of turned sideways in LA.
There's a couple of different ways to look at it. So you can look at this one.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot. So it's supposed to look like the Ram coming through.
Yeah.
But see, there's an old LA Chargers logo. You can make the point that's the Chargers logo and a Ram mixed together almost. I mean, there's your Chargers logo.
Yeah.
If you put three of them together,
it's weird, man.
That's what you got.
I don't understand. Like, okay, I can understand kind of a rebrand, or maybe you want to put that and just sell merchandise with that on it. Maybe not necessarily.
You know what
put
gets me is how much the people who probably lame. Here you go. Here's a lame. How much the people who they pay to do this stuff
Oh, I
probably
know.
actually make.
Oh yeah, the graphic designer that designed that, they're like, here, this is our perfect
I
idea.
wish I was good enough, a good enough artist to be able to do like the team logos and stuff like that. I mean, I can put something together kind of. Actually, that right there looks to me like someone with my expertise, as opposed to someone who's with a really good, like
professional graphic artist. No.
I'm probably on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm probably somewhere in
Well,
the,
you know
in
what
the
I don't
6 or
understand?
7 range.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to know what I don't understand is why does every team in LA have to have the L and the A with them? Like, I don't understand. The Rams were doing just fine, keeping with just the Ram horn. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they're LA.
I think part of what their deal is that they are going to new uniforms.
Yeah.
And they have to,
like, even the Wildcats in the XFL, their symbol, their emblem logo
LA.
is literally just LA. I'm like, well, you can't. Nobody in your graphic design teams can be more creative than just LA. Like, really? Los Angeles?
What about the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim?
I don't like that. That's,
LAAA.
yeah, no, LAA. It's like, yeah, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I don't have enough time, man, to just keep saying that over and over. So people just be like, LA Angels. Yeah, but I like that one, though. Just the A with, like, the halo around it. But if they ever made it, all right, rebrand LA with, like, the halo around the LA, I'd be like, no. Nothing, not everything in Los Angeles has to have an LA put on it. Kind of like the new Los Angeles Clippers logo. It's like the big C and then LA are in the middle of it. It's like, we get it. You're in Los Angeles. You think the world revolves around Los Angeles. It doesn't. I'm sorry. To me, this is 110% what that logo says. After somebody messed with it, it's lame. That rebrand is just lame. Do you want to know what I would have thought would be really freaking cool? Your Dolphin, except for as a Ram. Have a Ram with a football helmet on. That would be sick.
Yeah.
As like an alternate, just have like like a Ram, kind of like
a leather football helmet.
Yeah, like Ramses from North Carolina, but just with a football helmet on. It's like, why not, dude? You have so many opportunities, and the one thing they're probably looking at it as, well, simple is better. Like, keep it simple so people can just recognize it and see it automatically, and it'll always be able to pick it up. But to me, this is almost too simple that a 6-year-old drew it. They were just like, yeah, let's do an L and an A, but then make half the A go back into the ram horn, and there you go. There's my project. Do you like my picture made out of macaroni noodles? That's exactly what this is. I wouldn't even. Oh man, me looking at this is probably how my parents felt when I would bring home a macaroni noodle picture when I was little. They were like, "Oh, okay," and I'm thinking it's a masterpiece. Unfortunately, the graphic designer whoever made this new LA like leaked logo, as soon as they found out it was leaked, they were probably looking at everybody's reactions like, "We got to scrap it. We got to scrap it." 1, it leaked. 2, everybody hates it. We have to scrap it. Sorry, we're not doing it. I wouldn't do it. Fail. LA, this was a fail.
I am with the uniform revolution we've had the last year. So growing up, my age kids, that for the most part, 90%, 99% of the teams only had home and away jerseys. That was it. You back to working now?
Yeah, it stopped.
All right.
Strange.
Only had home and away jerseys.
Yeah.
So
now teams have 8.
I think the Bulls were the first ones to do the alternate with the black. And then now, like, the Hornets, I don't even know what the official Hornets jerseys are.
They got some that are like gray.
At this
gray
point.
with teal.
Shaw. And it says Shaw.
Shaw, bro. Stupid.
Who says Shaw? Does anybody in Charlotte say Shaw? CHA? I was just wondering.
I think me and you both would agree that they should have just either went with the call letters from the airport, CLT.
The Hornets were actually one of the first NBA teams to get a third jersey, too, when they got the purple back in the 90s. Because they were originally just the teal and the white, and they got the purple. Bulls had the black. I think Magic were one of the first teams with 3 jerseys. I think basketball really started it. And then now some of these teams that just different colors and throwbacks, and it's hard to keep up with. The logos, the Rams jerseys now look awful because they have these rules with their jerseys that you can only change them so many years. So when they moved to LA, they couldn't immediately change their jersey numbers, but they changed their helmets to white instead of the gold, and that's where they're kind of going towards. And so they've had to wait these last 2 years, so their jerseys have gold on them still, and their helmets don't. It just kind of doesn't look right at all.
Yeah.
Saturday night, Hunter, Duke and North Carolina for the second time.
And
this time Duke covered.
They did cover. I didn't think they would. I thought North Carolina would play them a lot closer. And for the majority of the game, it really was close. I mean, what was the halftime score? If I'm not mistaken, it was actually like just a few points, 7 maybe, 34-42. What was it?
It's not show that in the box score. Yeah, it does. 8 points. 42,
so it was
34.
8 points, and then it was really just as close there in the second half. It was only 5 points in the difference. So they played them close. The scoreboard doesn't show it. The problem with North Carolina was, to be honest, it was Duke's defense. Duke played fantastic defense on Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony was about useless. Garrison Brooks out there went, if I'm not mistaken, they said this was his 5th game in a row with over 25 points. So he's getting it done on the court, on the block, and it also hurt them as well. They had to go for quite a while on the floor without Armando Bacot because he got in foul trouble slightly early in the second half. So
Brooks' problem is 9 of 22. He's under 50% from the field.
That and
Leaky
free throws.
Black was 3 of 10.
The free throws attempt
Cole
for
Anthony
everybody.
was 4 of 14. And then Carolina misses 6 free throws. Shooting not too well is what I'm looking at. 40% from the field, 29 of 71, 33 from 3. Duke was 47% and 47% from 3. So they're 47% across the board. They missed 4 of their 33 free throws. Took 13 more free throws than Carolina and missed less free throws.
Also for Duke, I know why they have Vernon Carey listed there on the bench. They played a lot of their seniors. It was senior night for Duke. Vernon Carey, they could not stop Vernon Carey on a pick and roll to save their life.
Yeah.
No, but they would not. Nobody would come over and help when he would come off of setting the screen, rolling off, and he literally would just have a free roll to the basket. Not only that, Duke out fast breaked North Carolina. And that's what North Carolina does for years. Is just when they get the offensive rebound, they push the ball down the court. Duke did it tremendously. Vernon Carey ran the floor like every North Carolina big has for the last 20, 30 years. Just as soon as that board happens, the guard usually gets it, or maybe one of the wing players, and he's gone. Vernon Carey was gone 2-3 steps, and he's already ahead of every North Carolina defender. It was tough.
Carolina plays Tuesday night.
Yes.
Against
Virginia
Tech. We talked this weekend kind of about where could they possibly be playing in the postseason. They're going to have to make a run to the and win it if they won in the tournament.
I've seen
I doubt that's going to be.
I've never seen a team this low in their bracket make a run. But the one team I do remember that made a run not only went on to win the Big East championship, but that run went on to win them the national championship as well, was Kimball Walker's UConn. They were not one of the top 4 respected teams in the Big East, and what it basically was they caught lightning in a bottle. And they just rode that momentum on because it's both your conference tournament and the big dance essentially are the same. You just got to play 4 or 5 good games basketball.
Right.
That's about it. The seedings are over. It's all over now. Now you just have to go out there and play basketball.
Beat who's on the schedule, yeah.
Yeah, and just beat who you have to play. That's really what it was. So do I think that they have a chance? I think they definitely have a chance in round 1 to beat Virginia Tech. If they play how they've played the last 3-4 games of the regular season, yes, even against Duke, because like I said, I think they played a lot better than the box score shows. I think they have a really good shot of at least beating Virginia Tech by 5 or 6. Okay. Not a huge margin, but a little bit of a cushion to say, all right, that was a good win. That's a good win. After that, though, It's just going to come down to matchups. I will say this, no offense, Terry, but if they draw NC State, they're going to beat them again. NC State doesn't want anything to do with North Carolina right now. They're 0 for 2 on them. We're in their head.
They beat them a third time. That'll knock them out of the tournament.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
100%. And
so.
just like Terry said, they are still right now a part of the Final Four, or first four out. So that I think is crazy as well. But I think North Carolina does have an opportunity. I think the toughest to beat, though, are going to be Virginia because they're hot right now. I think they're on an 8-game win streak. Duke definitely is going to be difficult to beat because they're always difficult to beat. It's just Duke. And sneakily, I know if my buddy's listening, he's going to love that I say this because he's a huge Florida State fan. But Florida State, there's a reason why they won the ACC regular season. That's always tough to do in general. Now they have a true opportunity to lock up a 1 seed if they win the ACC tournament.
Will this be one of the years that we actually have a team that isn't qualified for the tournament win it and get in? Because usually the ACC usually has anywhere 6 to 8 or 9 teams anyway.
Right.
So the team that wins it is definitely one of the top teams. It's usually one of the top 2 teams that win the tournament.
Yes.
So what do you think as far as does anybody win and get themselves in the tournament through this way? Who do we have out right now? So Georgia Tech has self-imposed no postseason play.
Okay.
So
we're talking just out of the ACC. If I'm not mistaken, easily the first 4 are in. So that leaves anybody below Georgia Tech.
Can NC State, Syracuse, or Notre Dame basically win the tournament?
Win the tournament. I've seen Syracuse ball out against
with that
Duke.
zone. They can sneak around and win.
That zone is always dangerous. Boeheim's done it before, not just in the ACC, but in the Big East.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely a coach to watch out for. Notre Dame will play hard. Clemson has got some big upsets on the season. They beat Duke. They beat Florida State. I don't know if they beat Clemson or Louisville or Virginia, but they've shown that they are able to step up and play in big games. But really, anybody below Clemson, I think, is going to have a really tough time. I mean, everybody will say it, and you got to mean it. North Carolina might be the most dangerous bottom seed out of any team in in their respective conference tournament. But other than that, they're just matching up against a one more win in conference Virginia Tech team. I think they'll win that. It's just going to come down to who's in front of them and who they would play after this. Do they have the bracket up?
Yeah, that's what I was about to try and pull up here is the ACC bracket. They play tomorrow. I just put it in the schedule. I think 6:30 or 7 is when Carolina plays Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
All right, here you go, Hunter. I'll pull it up for the folks watching at home.
Yeah.
Watching at home on the Facebook and the YouTube. Maybe if I can get my mouse.
So game 2, if North Carolina was to win game 2, the game 2 of Tuesday against Virginia Tech, they would be matched up against Syracuse.
Yep.
North Carolina beat Syracuse the last time they played Syracuse, so that's a winnable game. And the same thing would happen is
NC State gets game 1 winner instead of game 2 winner. So we almost got State for the third time.
That's exactly
if they can
right.
win.
Out of the Wake Forest and Pittsburgh game, I could see both of them winning that game. I would lean probably more towards Pittsburgh to beat Wake Forest, even though Wake Forest did beat Duke, and then it would be NC State versus the winner of Wake Forest and Pittsburgh. Then from there, if it goes correctly, it would be if North Carolina somehow was able to win Game 6, they would be the one to play Louisville.
Right. So
and that's tough.
So Carolina's schedule to victory is Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and Louisville. They already know who the first 3 opponents would be.
Oh, yeah.
Then the Saturday is the semifinals and Sunday. So they've got to beat Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Louisville, and then, Hunter, win 2 more games to get in the tournament.
It's a tall task.
Huh?
It's a tall task.
Now, they would be playing after Louisville, they'd be playing the winner of Virginia and whoever they would be hosting. So
yeah. So it's tough. North Carolina has played Louisville already this year. They got beat in their latest matchup 72-55. So Louisville really hung it on them. The Louisville's already gotten beat to Florida State. They beat Virginia Tech 68-52, and then they did in fact lose their final game to Virginia 57-54. That was a senior night at Virginia. So they're not bad losses to Florida State and Virginia. They finished respectively above Louisville in the ACC. That would be obviously the biggest and toughest matchup for North Carolina. If North Carolina is able to get up to the level of competition, though, that they play against Duke, I think maybe they would have a chance. But the question is, are they going to be able to do it 3 games in a row? I'm not sure.
If Carolina does not win in the last 12 years, they will only have one
ACC tournament or ACC championship. Tournament championship. Yep.
In 12 years, only one, and the coach coming last. And then he says, "We ain't got no talent around here, Hunter. How am I supposed to coach them? You're the talent recruiter."
Yeah, but in those
no championships. Look at not only that, Hunter.
Yeah, I was just
how many of those are losses?
Oh, that he has lost in the final.
That coach has lost. Think about this. In the last 12 years,
he's lost 4 finals.
Five. The coach has lost 5 important games. Only won 1 of 12 years. He's 1 in 5. Time to fire the coach.
Time to fire the coach. I was saying that a few years ago, and then they ended up making a run and winning the national championship. So it's this just might be an anomaly. It just might be that 1 year where I hate to take
Chris just said, "Hey, Chris, we're trying to figure out if I'm gonna fire Roy again." Andy said he gets a no, but I mean, 12 years in a row, only one conference title. When did he start?
2000 and I don't know when he took over. It was early 2000s.
Roy Williams,
because they won the national championship in 2005. That was his first national championship with North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. We'll click on the Wikipedia.
We'll learn something today.
The Wikipedia. 2003.
Okay, so after 2 years of being there, he won a national championship.
He's won 3 tournament titles since he's been there in 17 years.
He's also won 3 national championships. And, I would love to come out here and consistently say, look, we're ACC tournament champions every year, if not every other year. We're regular season champs every year. That's all fine and dandy, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think it sounds a whole lot better to me to be national champions.
Right.
Because I'm just looking through here, and 2014.
Duke's got 8
conference titles, but I'm looking at how many of those years did they win the national championship that same year. It was not many.
That's true, too.
Duke won their last national championship in 2015, I want to say.
Virginia has 2 since Roy's been there.
And Virginia just won their first national championship.
Mm-hmm. Miami, Florida State, and Maryland, former Big Ten team, are the teams that have won ACC titles since Roy started in the ACC. So Roy's got 3.
I'm just looking.
Kay's got
here.
8.
Let me see.
Roy's lost 5.
Men's basketball.
Roy's lost to Virginia, Notre Dame, Florida State, Duke, and Virginia, Notre Dame, Miami. How about all 5 losses been to 5 different teams, Hunter?
For Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lost to Virginia, Notre Dame, Miami, Florida State, and Duke. So every team that won the ACC tournament beat Carolina.
I'm just looking at, NCAA,
all of them.
Tournament champions. They won it 2001, 2010, and 2015. If you're Duke, and I'm looking here, 2010 they won it that year to go on and then win the national championship. But in 2015 they were a runner-up. They lost, 2015 they weren't even in the final game.
No.
That was North Carolina and Notre Dame. And then in 2001, you'd have to scroll down because it's not there. But in 2001, they did win that one over North Carolina. So they've been tournament champions twice, and they've been national champions twice. That those have only matched up twice. But other than that, like, you just scroll down that list, and people that have won, very rarely are they the winner, and then they just go on to win the national championship. I mean, I could go and do North Carolina's national championships. They won it in 2009.
93, they actually lost to Georgia Tech. I was at that one. They won in 82.
They were not the champions of the ACC in 2005, and that's when they won that
The
championship.
Stackhouse, Carter, Jameson teams that didn't win a national championship, they won 3 ACC titles.
And then
And
2009,
Duke won 7 out of 8 years.
North Carolina won it the year before that they won the national championship. Unless I'm doing this wrong, this should be correct. Because you know how they always were like the 08-09 season?
Yeah, by the finish, right?
Yeah, by the finish. So if this goes just by the year it started, 2009 North Carolina won it. They did not win the conference championship, but they
Right.
went on to win the national championship.
Right.
Duke won it the next year. And then North Carolina won it in 2016, 17 when we won it last?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's not
What
been
does that
that
say?
long.
2005 is the last poster I got. I'm pulling it up so I can compare them on the screen too. NCAA National Basketball Championships brought to you by the World
So
Wide Web.
North Carolina won in 2017. So in 2017, they didn't win the ACC championship either. They were the runner up, and they went on to win the national championship.
So there you go.
There you go.
2017, North Carolina won the national championship, did not win the ACC. 2015, Duke won the national championship, did not win the ACC. 2013, Louisville won the national championship, did not win the ACC. I don't know if they were in it then.
Mm-hmm.
Duke in 2010 did. 2009, North Carolina did not. North Carolina won the national championship. 2005 did not win the ACC title. 2001, Duke. So Duke is the only team in the 2000s. They've done it twice of North Carolina Duke. Only one that's won both.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it twice. So you don't have to win it at all, Hunter, to win the ACC title. And most years North Carolina did not do that. Even back to 93, Carolina didn't. Let me see the 91, 92 Duke teams.
Oh,
I'm sure
shoot,
they might have.
I kind of underplayed.
The 92 Duke team did win. The 91 Duke team did not. They actually lost to North Carolina. So only 3 teams since, let's see, Georgia Tech. Let me go back down through here real quick. 3 teams. NC State did. 4 teams. So 4 teams since 1980 won a national championship and an ACC title.
So if you're running basically off those numbers,
About 500
if you're
or
running
worse.
if you're basing it off of those numbers, then whoever wins the ACC championship is more than likely not going to win the national championship.
Good chance.
There's a good chance. And I kind of underplayed the regular.
Only 4 ACC tournament title
Yeah.
champions have won it in 34 years. 30 years. 40 years. Jeez, 40 years.
Kind of
since 1980.
underplayed.
Go ahead.
I brought up UConn. So North Carolina was 14 seed right now. UConn was not that far down, but they did win the Big East tournament as a 9 seed and then went on to win the national championship. So it's all about just catching hot. They received a number 3 seed in the tournament. UConn did, after, of course, winning out in the Big East, and that was when the Big East was strong. That was before everybody started leaving. So that was that was good for UConn then. So North Carolina fans, there's still hope. And really, every team in there that's a 9 seed, there's hope, because you can always revert back to UConn.
Well, Villanova have won 2 past 4 championships. Connecticut, since 2011, they got 4 in the Big East. Only 2 in the ACC. Kentucky, the other one in Louisville. Was that an ACC win, 2013, or was that Big East?
Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, that was vacated.
Well,
That's why
I
the
see an asterisk there.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that was vacated.
Because
what
was
was
it?
it?
Was that the recruiting?
Yeah, that was Patino's mess. What was it? 2013 Louisville.
Right. So I just want to get this straight on the Patino's mess, right?
Right.
If I bought the recruits clowns to tell jokes, would that be
Yeah.
a recruiting violation?
Maybe.
It might be. If I paid for a band to come in and play or recruit some music, would that be a recruiting violation? I'm just trying to figure out Like, what's the recruiting violation that they paid for strippers? Is there a comparable? You see what I mean? You see what I'm getting at? Like,
Yeah.
is there a line of, hey, you just pay? Is it you just paid for entertainment? Like paying for? Is that the same as paying for a
They
movie?
were, it says here, during 2013, the Cardinals competed in the American Athletic Conference.
Oh, okay.
American Athletic Conference. And they vacated all their wins. So that season technically just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. We didn't have a champion in NCAA in 2013. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I'm got to say though. Now it is officially March Madness time. Now that conference tournaments have started, get ready to fill your brackets out. Even if you're not a fan, just do a coin flip. Try and win some money. Now, I know some people, they just go off, they let their kids pick. A lot of famous people
Do
do
just as
too.
good. You'll do just
They
as
do
good.
just as good, and they just pick off mascots.
Just don't let them do something stupid like a 1 seed lose to a 15 or whatever. Chris says, "Be careful what you wish for." Roy, how it was before Roy, I would argue it was pretty good before Roy. It was Bill Guthridge's fault that they had bad years. Matt Doherty's players won a national championship. It's Roy uses Dean Smith's offense and recruits off Carolina's name, and he did it Kansas. He recruited off Kansas' name, but he runs Dean's offense. I would, in fact, Hunter, and I know other Carolina fans wouldn't want it, but I'd give Matt Doherty another chance. I thought he was doing decent. His recruits were awesome. Rashad McCants won it. That was Matt Doherty's recruit.
I will say this: they're bringing back old coaches at North Carolina.
Not like Kenny Smith,
and they're damn good. Head coach at the football team's bringing in a lot of recruits. So if
good
that's
coach.
didn't
Didn't he lose to the Sun Belt at home this year?
maybe you might be right, but as of right now,
he ain't a good coach.
as of right now, if it was the end of the day, they have a top 15 recruiting class.
That's cute.
Hey, you got to bring in the talent. What did Roy Williams just complain about? He don't got the talent.
Can't beat App though. That's all that matters.
We'll see about that whenever they play again. If
They
they
won't.
ever play again,
They won't. You think we're invited? You think we're invited back, Chapel
Why
Hill?
don't you invite us to Boone?
You can come to Boone anytime you want.
We're going up there and have some
Them
boonshine.
boys are scared.
Boys are scared,
They
and
don't
but
want to come to Boone.
nobody wants to go to Boone.
You know how I know that the boys at Carolina are scared
Scared.
to come play in Boone? Because they could have easily went to App. He said they went to North Carolina.
They could have easily went to App.
What reasoning, Hunter, would you have to go to North Carolina as a recruit as opposed to Appalachian State?
You don't like the mountains.
That you like the basketball team?
You don't like the. You don't
That's
like
really
the
what
cold.
that's really what we're talking about here.
You don't
We all
like the
we all
cold.
know that.
Look, I'm just saying, based off of recruiting as of right now, it's looking pretty good.
I mean, what would you say if you was how do you I just don't understand how, I guess kids are just signing up to be they like the Tar Heels basketball team so much and they like Tar Heels that they'll even play football for them even though the program has been garbage forever.
Look,
And I don't get it. I don't see why you can go in how you can go into someone's house and be like, if you're Appalachian, be like, hey, we're thinking about North Carolina. Well, that's cute. They can't beat us. We're thinking about South Carolina. Well, that's cute. They can't beat us.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying
I know.
that recruiting wise,
There's somebody
it's
playing
going
linebacker
good.
out there right now just because of the because they get to say they went to North Carolina.
That's it. Well,
is
that's
that-
on him.
I know. It's
That's
just
on
it's
him.
crazy.
I know.
And then so anyway, what do you think? Our news reports real quick comes out.
Yeah, keeping it.
Gilbert Arenas
Yeah.
says that Duke has been paying their players about $200,000 to play their Hunter. What and that about the number I said the other day, last Saturday? We was talking about Duke and Clemson and paying their players. Wasn't that about the number we come up
It
with?
was about the
And-
number, and I know.
and we had all real quick. We'd also discussed what would be the amount that
Mhm.
would cause players in the XFL and everything to start doing there instead of
Yeah.
going to Clemson and Alabama.
money.
How much? That's what I'm saying. Gilbert Arenas says it's $200,000 to play at Duke. The Clemson recruiting scandal, or the NCAA recruiting scandal, where they were wiretapped in Vegas. They've got Clemson football coach or basketball coaches talking about trying to get Zion and saying that or someone talking about the Clemson folks saying they just had the money in the football program and not in the actual basketball
Look,
program to be
I've
able
seen
to land
the same
Zion.
reports. I've seen the same reports why Zion chose Duke over Kansas
Mm-hmm.
is because they asked for $100,000 in housing at Kansas, and they didn't give it to them.
Arena says players are already getting paid, and he knows that 2 players in the last 5 years were paid $200,000 to attend Duke rather than Kentucky. The recent FBI college basketball scandal opened the eyes of fans to what goes on under the table. Shoe companies are heavily involved in the payments to the players, which are funneled through youth programs to families and handlers. Duke under Coach K is thought to be on a higher level of morality when he comes to running a clean program, but Arena says the school is no different from any other program that's paying the players. I would definitely, all the private schools, I would definitely have my eyes open at them more than anything. Like, I mean, seriously, Arena.
A recent story about allegations that the highest profile Duke player of all was paid by Nike to attend the school, and I wonder who the highest profile player to come through Duke was.
That Avenatti was involved in that, so who knows what the truth on that is. I just clicked on that and it said Michael Avenatti.
Oh, was it the guy with that was basically suing Nike?
The porn star that he was trying to sue Nike, and he just got found guilty of extortion, trying to sue Nike. So he's going to jail for like 40 years.
Jesus,
for trying to extort Nike.
Jesus.
And now I'll go back to my Gilbert. Well, I lost my Gilbert story. Well, there we go.
Well, anyways, you got the premise of it. He said basically $200,000
right
given to Duke players, but you and I both know who they're talking about in that final line when they said the highest profile Duke player. It's Zion.
Who?
It's Zion. It's not even a question.
Who?
It's Zion who they're referring to, especially since he is. I know it's not a Nike affiliate, but it's Jordan. Who else would have specially made shoes and send them to a college student if they didn't have money invested in him? Nike. They had custom-made shoes for him after he blew his foot out in those, Kyrie's?
Mm-hmm.
So, one, I understand it was for brand purposes. They don't want to have their shoes look like they can't withstand the beating. But two, if you got money invested in this kid and you want to try and sway him to continue to sign with you, why would you not send him that money? And people have to understand, too, just because it's Jordan, at the end of the day, it's still underneath the subsection Nike. It's basically like, look at this header, and then here's a bullet point under. It's Nike, Jordan.
They can afford to pay.
The bigger brand, technically, is Nike because it's got more athletes under it.
They can afford to pay these players $200,000.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. But see, what I don't understand is that, to me, unless Coach K signed off on it, should not go against the university. To me, that should be a 110% fine against the shoe company that's giving them the money if you're going to keep it to where they can't get paid.
But Hunter, what if Coach K is a
booster?
No. He's also a Nike employee. So he's obviously part of.
Well,
he's definitely.
Well, then why would he not
definitely
be fired?
knows about it. Then second, he would
Well, he knows.
He would
about
obviously
it.
if Coach K is getting $10 million from Nike,
right,
and they're giving players on the table from Nike, then obviously.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and act like North Carolina's not doing it because if they are paying somebody, they're paying the wrong kids.
North Carolina, 100%, true or false, paid the wrong Britt brother.
Yes. Because the other one won a national championship.
On us, in our grill.
In Britt's face.
Yeah.
The only one, if North Carolina's paid any of them that's been good lately has been Kobe White. He's balling. Damn, he's balling at the next level. You know what they said when they drafted a North Carolina guard at 6 with the Bulls? They said the last time they did this, they got a stud, and it was Jordan. I said, wait a minute now, don't pull that on him, but he's going to be a scorer. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be a scorer.
How do you put that hair in a statue? Poor statue builder.
Well, see, he's kind of what he's done now with the league is he's kind of got it pulled back.
Yeah.
So it's not as... But if I was getting a statue, I'd be like, all right, put the big hair in it. Put the big hair in it. So, but does that surprise me? No. No, it doesn't surprise me. I think it's more surprising that Gilbert Arenas is the one coming out of left field saying it. Like, don't you got some guns to play with or something? Like, come on, man. We know why you got out the league.
All right, Hunter, let's move over to the NBA.
Yeah.
Hornets this week actually had a great week. They lost by 1, by 2, and then won against the Rockets.
And they won by a pretty big margin, too, against the Rockets.
Right.
And
so
the
they
Rockets
lost to the Mavericks, who are a playoff team.
Yeah.
They lost to the Spurs, who are not a playoff team, and Coach Tim Duncan's debut.
And did you see what Patty Mills said?
Mm-mm.
So they asked Patty Mills what he thought about, how Tim Duncan did on his first coaching debut, and he said he didn't do shit. I thought that was funny. I was like, dang, Patty, roast him. Just roast him.
Patty. I just the standings make me sick when I look at them to the Hornets. No matter what we do, we're
why
10th.
are they still trying to compete?
No matter what we do, we're 10th in the East. It doesn't matter year after year, after year after year. But they did have a good week this week. 22-41 overall. That means they got to win their last 19 games to finish 500. Hunter, do you think they got a chance?
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Here's the thing: they're gonna lose to probably. If they play Atlanta again, somehow they'll find a way to lose to Atlanta. Anybody that's below them, they might find a way to lose to, just because you never know which one.
No, they
team
stomp
is gonna
those
show
teams
up.
in the ground just for fun, just to make sure we don't.
I don't know.
Just to make sure we don't get higher
Like
picks.
I'm telling you, I saw them beat. Or Chicago beat them on a buzzer beater. So
they're 4 games out of the worst. 3 games out of the worst spot.
if I'm them, dude, I'm just tanking. At this point, okay, Borrego, you've taken the time to see what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Is the product that you're putting on the floor with taking the outlier out in the Houston win? You beat Houston. Houston is not going to continue to shoot like that if you play 5 games. Houston's more than likely going to win the 4, and this was your 1. I'm sorry. There's just, to me, talent-wise, it's a way better roster, and I think you can agree with me as well. Houston's over Charlotte's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have people that can score 20 points every night.
The only thing I think that really is holding Houston back is D'Antoni. I think D'Antoni's been holding Houston back since he wants to run this run and gun, no defense off.
That's what I was about to say. How do you just not care about defense at all to a point where you just think about that? Then all you're doing, like, what are you coaching other than
shooting
motion? Y'all keep moving. And then fire up the 3. I mean, do you teach offensive rebounding? Like, what's his emphasis on?
He's not teaching much motion either, if you think about it, because it's all right. If Harden's got the ball ISO, just move out the lane.
I'm saying, like, how much coaching are you actually doing if you're just trying to out 3-point the other team?
I mean,
like, what are we doing? Like, if we call a timeout, what are you saying or what are you doing? Is my point. Like,
I asked the same question. Well, that was like when I said,
"Hey guys,
Saturday,
hit the next 3 you take."
That was like when I said Saturday morning on our, on the radio show. I was basically like, "Ew!" When I saw that the the Rockets had lost a game because they shot 16% from shooting 44 threes, I said that's disgusting. That's just disgusting. That's you live by the 3, die by the 3. That Doug Gottlieb he was stepping in for Colin this week. He said, "What, you thought that was like?" There was no substance behind live by the 3, die by the 3. It's like, we say that for a reason because it's true. If you ain't hitting, you're losing.
They're actually leading the West in scoring with 118. Milwaukee's leading the NBA at 119. They're giving up 111 points a game as Houston. Lakers clinched the spot this weekend, beating the Clippers. Lakers in 1, Clippers 2 spot, Nuggets 3, Jazz 4, Thunder 5. Rockets 6, Dallas 7, Memphis 8. Hunter, anyone besides the top 3 seeds
got a chance?
Got a chance.
I think the hardest out of everybody 4 through 8 is Oklahoma City. That's because I just saw Oklahoma City. People want to call it an upset, but they beat Boston. Okay, and they played very good defense at the end there with Chris Paul. So I think the hardest out will be Oklahoma City. They're sitting at the 5-6 matchup between Houston and Oklahoma City. So I think that one's going to be an absolute...
They would have it's 4-5 matchup.
Oh, it's 4-5 matchup?
Utah.
Oh, okay, so it would be Utah. All right. You're right. 3 and 6 would be the matchup. To be honest, I think Oklahoma City could beat Utah in that series. People would say it's an upset. I'm just like, they're just one apart from each other. I think they're so similar. It's literally they're just one game out from each other.
1.5.
1.5.
Then Utah is 1 behind Denver. Denver's actually 1 behind the Clippers.
I think
so. We could have any type of a rotation there
'Cause,
between those
yeah,
teams in the last
both of
few
these
weeks.
guys, I mean, both Oklahoma City and Utah got big monsters down low. One's got Steven Adams. One's got Rudy Gobert. Oklahoma City's got the up-and-comer Shea Gilgeous. He's a long guy. Put him at the 2. Utah's kind of undersized at their guards. Mike Conley's not very big. CP can match him up. He still plays good defense even in his age. Donovan Mitchell will give them problems just because he's just a natural scorer. Other than that, though, I think Oklahoma City would have a really good shot in that 4-5 matchup. Another one I think that they're going to give the Clippers a lot of trouble, and that's especially if Luka and Kristaps come to play, and it's going to be Dallas. If the Clippers,
I think Dallas needs one more player, and then they'll be ready for
I can agree with that.
prime time.
I think for them they
I don't
need
trust Porzingis. It's not nothing to do with Luka. I don't trust Porzingis at all. Like he'll throw up. I think he'll get like 10 points in a game, and you're just like,
yeah. But I think
Luka's
just
out there by
him being
himself.
7'3" and being able to disrupt shots.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like he's gonna give him some.
Dallas is long.
Yeah, Dallas is very long, especially even
If
without
Luka's at point
Luka.
guard.
Yeah, without Luka and Kristaps when they were playing Charlotte.
Well, according to Terry's lineups, Hunter, we put Luka at the 2 guard.
yeah,
I mean, not Luka. Porzingis at the 2.
Porzingis at the 2. Yeah, whatever.
Willie Cauley-Stein and Boban at the. Think about that lineup.
I'm telling you, that's a defense's worst nightmare because they got shot blockers.
All 7
The problem is though, is like I can agree with you when you look at the Clippers. They have Paul George. They have Kawhi, who are going to go out there and get you 20 easy. I mean, and that's easy. Paul George and I had like 30 against the Lakers, while Kawhi had like 27.
Yeah.
So they can go out there and almost get you 30 and 30 apiece. And then L.A. as well has got Montrezl Harrell coming, whether they start him or coming off the bench. He had 20+. So they got the guys where they say you need at least 3 guys that can get you 70 easily.
Right.
Where it is Dallas, it's you got one guy that's just going to get you 30 or 40, and it's Luka right now. And maybe Kristaps can get you 15 and 10. So you're close, but you're not quite there. But those 3 for the Clippers could outscore the whole starting lineup for the Mavericks. Now say Seth Curry. Just say Seth Curry gets hot for the Mavericks. Yeah. I mean, he could always go off maybe because he's just like not just like Steph, but from the 3-point line, if he gets a little crazy, he can make it close. The way that the Clippers lost that game, though, about the Lakers, I know it's not what we're talking about, but I'm just talking about the matchup, is they didn't get really enough from the free throw line. They missed way too many free throws, and they didn't get enough out of Marcus Morris or another guy from the perimeter. And Avery Bradley for the Los Angeles Lakers ate them up on the 3-point line. He was just hitting. And I could see Seth Curry doing the same thing for the Mavericks. So I think the Mavericks are another team that is going to give like a team kind of some trouble. We got the Clippers winning that matchup. And then just a fun one to watch is going to be the Lakers because they're pretty fun to watch. But Ja and Memphis. Ja Morant's going to dunk over one of these 7-footers one of these days. And the internet's going to lose its mind.
He's trying to.
The more exciting matchup would be, though, if Memphis can start losing and New Orleans catches them, and New Orleans flips to be the 8th seed instead of Memphis. But I don't think there's enough time for that now.
4 games and 20 games. It's right on the edge.
I mean, it's close. Is it doable? Yeah, New Orleans just has to stay hot. It would really come down. I think I said this before. It's just going to come down to whose schedule is more favorable.
I'm sorry, Hunter.
You're over here laughing, and I don't know what you're laughing about.
I was trying to check, get in line of what order I'm going to do with sports stuff, checking through my tweets, and someone liked a tweet, and I haven't decided if I'm going to read it or not. They just laugh. Just those 2 right there on top of each other is just freaking Twitter gold. We got to talk. Let's see. We've talked Gilbert Arenas, UNC Duke, Hornets. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah,
like,
don't say it. Don't say
it's
it.
Awesome. All right, Hunter. Yesterday I was watching. Well, real quick, finish up with the Hornets and stuff. Lakers and Clippers. Are the Lakers your favorite or the Clippers right now in the West?
No, not right now.
I said are the Lakers or Clippers, and you said no.
Oh, I thought you said are the Lakers over the Clippers?
No,
are
the Lakers or the Clippers?
Oh, I think it's still the Clippers. Even though the Lakers won this game yesterday, Yeah, it was yesterday. I still think the Clippers have the edge on them. They've played 3 times this year. Clippers have won the first 2. Truthfully, I could see these 4 because they're gonna play 4 times. They gotta play one more time. I could see that them basically being split 2-2. But the Clippers claiming the first 2 games, I think, was fantastic. And very, very rarely do I think Avery Bradley is just gonna go nuclear from the 3-point line for the Lakers. So I'm just gonna take the Clippers. I still have the Clippers as the favorite, and probably the favorite to win the chip.
Anthony Davis does make it. I mean, it's a big difference. Think about last year.
They're so long, dude.
So last year, LeBron's just okay.
He's hurt.
Team's
too,
okay. He's hurt. Then we add maybe one of the best players in the game. All of a sudden, LeBron's been great.
Yeah,
He's
LeBron's fine. They have JaVale McGee, who's another 7-footer. They got Dwight, who they bring off the bench, who's another 7-footer. The Clippers, leading up to that game, when all of their players are healthy, because that was one of the games that's another game they played last night or yesterday, where all of their guys were healthy. They were 10-0. So now they're just 10-1. Those odds are still pretty damn good. I mean, if you ask me, 10-1 if your team's fully healthy, and that's including Kawhi playing and not taking a rest night.
Not bad.
That's not bad at all.
All right, we're gonna move over to some NFL talk real quick.
Ooh, NFL.
Some Brady says nobody knows what's going on, so I guess nobody knows. Either way, the Patriots looking for receivers and tight ends, maybe to make him happy. Dak Prescott's offered maybe the highest guaranteed contract ever, and Josh Norman
is a
Buffalo Bill.
He's reintroduced. Not reintroduced. What's the word I'm looking for, Kevin? They come back together. He is
God, we're both doing.
God, we're drawing blanks. You know exactly what I'm talking about too. Why are we just drawing a blank right now?
Reconcile.
No.
Is that the word?
No, it's not reconciled.
What?
It's not reconciled. It's a
return.
Yes.
Is that
Josh,
the word?
I think. Yeah.
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but we'll use it at that. It's a synonym of it. Look, Josh Norman has returned to Sean McDermott's defense. They were with each other.
Reunited?
That's the word. Bro, he's been reunited. He's been reunited with Sean McDermott to play in his defense in Buffalo. Does he start? I don't know. You're going to put him on the other side of Tre'Davious White, or you're just going to have him come in certain packages? I don't know. But, I'm okay with that.
Of course, it's going to play a commercial. I was trying to play
a
song for you.
You're just going to
What? Well, either way, I got something for you.
Oh man.
So good.
Oh yes. That's what it's playing when Josh Norman comes in.
That's what you want.
It's Sean McDermott.
Is that a good matchup for their defense?
There you go.
With
Is that a good match? Is it a good matchup for their defense? I'm not sure. 100% honest. Just what I saw from him towards his later days in Washington. It just gets burnt too much. He's not as quick, and I don't think he's had a lower extremity injury. So I guess he's just slow now. He's just old and slow.
I don't know.
I'll tell you this though: he got his contract. He got his money that he wanted.
He's on a 1-year deal in Buffalo. Doesn't he represent himself or something like that too?
He might,
or is that I know Richard, that's
I know Richard
Sherman.
Sherman does that.
It seems like to me there was something different or something. I don't know why. All right. So NFL, we're gonna. I can't wait till they start the side hunter. We've been speculating for months now. It's already March. And
yeah.
We don't know who's gonna do what. And I just hope we got at least 5 new quarterbacks in positions. I want 10 or 12 just to have fun, but I'd like to have at least 5 that we can talk about, and everybody just stays where they're at. It just kind of makes it a little boring. I'd like to see Tom Brady move for fun.
Yeah,
that'll give us things to talk about. Where's Phillip Rivers going? We mentioned a few minutes ago
Yeah, I
before
was
the
just
show.
double checking. I was just double checking. I was like, all right, please tell me that they were together in Carolina. They were from 2012 until 2015.
Yeah, they made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they made
together.
the Super Bowl together, and then McDermott was there in 2016, and then
The
took the
Panthers
Buffalo
got
job.
rid of their Super Bowl defenders and
Yeah,
defensive coach, and then now, well, he got a head coaching job.
yeah, he did get a head coaching job, and I think he's doing a pretty good job with Buffalo. They made the dang playoffs.
Dang it! I just clicked on something, and my wonderful blank internet
Oh,
made
gosh.
me forget what I was even
Yeah.
going to.
Was it talking about the 4 teams that everybody's trying to
Yes.
connect Brady to
It
now?
was Patriots,
Yep. Titans.
Chargers, Titans, and Bucks.
The
And
Buccaneers.
the Bucks and Titans, they're saying, are the leaders in the clubhouse. So we talked a little bit about that.
Who did they say? The Bucks and Titans?
Bucks and Titans are the leaders.
Oh, man. I think the only thing that's getting the Bucks really much leverage is not just Mike Evans
Got the
and
best
O.J.
weapons.
Howard. They do got the best weapons. But arguably, they might have a better coach than Mike Vrabel. I know Vrabel
yeah.
had success, but Bruce Arians has made the playoffs multiple times everywhere he's went. And he was able to turn around the Bucks, if you think about it, from what they were the year before. They at least went 7-9 this past year. You mean to tell me with Brady at the helm they wouldn't go at least 10-6? It's doable. I think it's very doable, especially in that division. Could you imagine though that every year, twice a year, you get Brady and Breeze, the matchup? Who do you think would win? Like, would it
Kyle
just
Allen.
split? Kyle Allen.
He's 6-7 with a 31st ranked defense.
I'm asking between Brady and Breeze now. Who do you think's taking it between those two? If they play twice a year, is it 2 times Breeze, 2 times Brady, 1-1? Do they split at home and away? I mean, I don't know. And if you think, and then you got to come down to this as well. So Breeze said he was coming back to the Saints, and if Brady was to take the position with the Bucks, for how many years do you see them going back and forth with each other? Because essentially what they would be doing was trading records back and forth. Touchdown records, passing records, touchdown records, passing records every year. You think they would maybe just continue to play just this year, next year, and then call it quits? Just be like, look, let's have a 4-time matchup. Maybe we'll meet in the playoffs. Maybe we won't.
I gotta listen to this something real quick.
I'm not sure what you're listening to.
It's something for us, actually. Major League Baseball, MLB.com, putting up as a guy showing a tutorial about how to find video quick and easy. So the guy seemed pretty pumped about it. That's why I was kind of
This is like
distracted by
highlights?
yes, basically.
Highlights,
So
okay.
I know most time we just type something in YouTube and we can find what we
Find
want.
it so fast.
But MLB.com has a archive. It looks like that they're putting up for people to be able to find it.
Yeah.
And talk about. So that's something we'll be able to use and talk about going forward. All right, Hunter, this weekend, LA makes a big comeback after getting booed at home. I
The
got a text last
Wildcats.
night about the home team getting booed, and they end
Yeah.
up winning.
Yeah. I know they've had a good turnout there.
You want the attendance numbers real quick? 12,000 for LA.
That's good.
Defenders, that
DC.
DC was 16,000, and the Dallas Renegades with 15,000,
Mm-hmm.
and the Houston Roughnecks with 19,000.
Yeah,
The
they had a lot there.
Yeah.
They did. I think they were almost to mid-level filled with at Houston Stadium it's the college University of Houston Stadium.
Okay.
I think PJ Walker is still making a case for runaway first season MVP. Can we call him the XVP? Bro, that'd be sick. And
I
then when
think
he gets,
everything
and then
with
when he
him should be
gets it,
called X.
then when he gets it, X gonna give it to you as soon as he gets it.
I mean, that's
Bum, 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 tsh, dun, 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 tsh.
we need to get our theme song going.
We're
We're just gonna record it ourselves. We
Yeah,
can't get Andre to do it.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do
There's
it.
Jason. Let's see what he's doing. What you doing, man?
Not a whole lot.
We
I mean,
just-
it happens.
We're talking next. If it's Andre down the hall. Oh, okay. Don't know yet from the state tournament. We're trying to set that up right this second. Go ahead, Hunter. There's the standings right here in front of you. If you want to talk about that in a minute.
Oh yeah, we'll just go ahead and look that over. We got in the East, Defenders on top, 3-2. St. Louis 3-2. The Guardians 3-2 after a slow start to the season, and the Vipers are sitting at 1-4. And then in the West, you have the Roughnecks sitting atop the whole XFL at 5-0. The Renegades are 2-3. The Wildcats are 2-3, and the Dragons are 1-4. You could argue, just based off straight standings, that the East has better teams than the West. We're looking at a 3-2 Defenders, 3-2 Battlehawks, 3-2 Guardians, and the only one with a winning record in the West is the Roughnecks. Now, the Roughnecks might have the best roster overall from top to bottom. I know for a fact that they do have the best wide receiver in Cam Phillips. Cam Phillips is on an absolute tear. He could probably play on most NFL teams, and basically this is what I've tried to get across to people when I'm talking about the XFL is you got to look at it as basically another tryout for these guys. They're putting tape together, and they're going to be able to take this to an NFL executive and say, look, man, just give me a shot. All I'm asking for is a shot. If I'm not mistaken, the gentleman that was, in fact, on the Battlehawks that came straight from the college game because he had been he was on probation and had to leave the University of West Virginia. It was a safety, and to go and play in the XFL instead of sitting out a whole year of college. He had an interception this weekend for the XFL, so he's adding on to his tape as well, so that teams at the next level at the NFL can really see what he brings to the table and help himself get drafted. It's all about putting the tape out there. I listened to an interview with Mike Vrabel earlier today that a podcast had did with him, and they basically asked him, when it comes down to drafting time and the combine time, does it really matter? Do the hand sides matter to you? Does arm strength matter to you? Do the interview questions matter to you? And he was like, yeah, the interviews, that kind of just tells you about the guy. You try and pry and poke and figure out more about him. He said, but the tape at the end of the day doesn't lie. He said, you might have small hands, the tape doesn't lie. You might not have the biggest arm, the tape doesn't lie. What you were able to do on the field, that's something that's going to be like that, the end-all, be-all, the tape. And, of course, everything else is going to be helpful as well, combine numbers and whatnot as well. So, he's definitely trying to get picked up by an NFL team off of the XFL. And I wouldn't be surprised, if a lot of guys kind of get shots. Like I said, Cam Phillips, there's no way Cam Phillips, a lot of people say this is a wide receiver, a heavy draft class. I mean, he's the best wide receiver in the XFL, and it's not even close.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, don't say it. Or Monty Edwards. Yeah.
He's the best passing wide receiver in the XFL.
Okay, he's the best passing wide receiver in a XFL. You're right.
It never translated over. I mean, catching a ball is completely different than throwing a ball. And he has the speed and athleticism. And Michael Irvin made the point that not a lot of 4.3 guys hunted in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
If you can't catch it, don't matter how fast you run. Whether it's playing wide receiver, outfield, whatever in the world you're playing. If you can't catch it,
I'm just saying,
keep on running.
They played 5 games, and Cam Phillips has got 31 receptions, 455 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He's averaging 14.7 a catch. He's pretty good.
Not bad.
He's not bad. And I know it is against, you want to say XFL defenses. I'm like, well, that's fine. And you could say the exact same thing about wide receivers coming out saying that's against college defenses. Whoa!
The Tua played good against Vanderbilt.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a guy seriously.
Vanderbilt.
And I know who you are. Okay, I know we went to high school together. And don't get me wrong, we're friends. Okay, and I'm not gonna say your name, but what you said really was kind of stupid. I said that PJ Walker is balling out at the XFL level, proving that he deserves to be here and possibly at the next level. Nowhere in there did I say he was a starter. Nowhere in there did I say he was going to be second string. And then I got the comment back, and he said, yeah, D1 football. First of all, he did play D1 football. He played at Temple. Okay, I don't care where he was at. I know where you played. You didn't play D1 football. Sorry, not sorry. He played D1 football. He was a starting quarterback and is winning now against professional. They're pros. Some of them didn't make the NFL. They're pros. And he was also on an NFL roster with the Indianapolis Colts behind Jacoby Brissett and Andrew Luck. I'm not going to lie. Those are kind of some big names to be behind
Beating
right now.
the Seattle Dragons is better than beating, you ready? The Arkansas Razorbacks.
It is.
or the Vanderbilt
It is.
Commodores,
Whoever he played
or
at
the North Carolina Tar Heels.
I will agree. It is. It is.
Now, it's probably not as good as beating Appalachian State because they're a ranked team.
Okay.
They're a real football
Look,
team.
it's mine. Well, look, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say it probably is because
Yeah.
it's the same thing that we say. Can the worst NFL team be beaten by Alabama?
No.
And you say no. Well, can the best
Now, this is
XFL
closer.
team? Can the best XFL team be beaten by Alabama?
Probably not.
Probably not. Because these are all professional athletes. At the end of the day, they are pros. They are man's man.
The easiest way to do this is how many professional linemen are on the Alabama offensive line.
Probably a lot.
Okay, then that's the easiest way when people bring that up. Is you just say, well, how many's on the Alabama offensive
so
line? They
look-
can play right now in
yeah.
the pros. Say 2, 3. Let's say 3. Give them the
Yeah.
best thing. Say 3. Well, in the pros, there's 5 offensive linemen.
5 offensive linemen that are professionals for a
they're
reason.
pros.
They're pros for a reason.
And so for the XFL, you probably look at it the same way. As I would equate them right now. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, when the talent pool gets better, they start stealing high school talent away. If that happens,
I'm equivalent
all these
to a
teams,
G
all
League.
these could probably be better across the board. I would say Clemson, Alabama would have a shot at these teams right now.
Clemson, there are 3
But
programs
I'd
now.
still-
There are 3 programs, probably Clemson, Alabama,
Ohio
and
State.
Ohio State, and that's because one, we all know that they are factories for NFL products,
And they probably pay their players more than
and
some of the
they
XFL
probably
teams.
yes that too, and at least 2 out of those 3 schools right now have the quarterback situation better than some of these XFL teams have, except for what I'm seeing out of Cam Phillips or what's his name? Not Cam Phillips, Walker, PJ Walker. PJ Walker.
I just love how the Vipers were given the best odds of the year, and they're 1-4.
Tyree Jackson. I know, right? Tyree Jackson came in and replaced Cardale Jones. And both of them had been in the NFL. Tyree Jackson was drafted, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago. He was just a big body guy out of Buffalo. So, I mean, these guys get drafted. They're not all just bums that were bagging groceries the week before.
Hey, Cardell got benched this weekend.
Yeah, for Tyree Jackson.
You know what that proves, don't you?
Ohio State
You
quarterback.
can never trust
And Ohio State.
an Ohio State quarterback. I'm just telling y'all. Nobody listens to me, but you can't do it.
We'll see about that.
Saturday, Houston at New York at 2:00. Battlehawks of St. Louis.
I had to rant
and Tampa
there.
at 5.
I had to rant there because that, to be honest, is ignorance.
Dallas and DC
Yeah. The rivalry.
and LA at Seattle.
There you go. St. Louis, I'm sorry, they're gonna beat the dog mess out of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 1-4. Did you see the fun that the fans were having at the DC St. Louis game at DC?
They're having fun at all these games.
They really, I mean, they're having fun.
They-
The fans,
they're-
they don't
They're
care.
having a great
They're
time.
having a great time, but they made a cup snake, and it's
Well-
probably the damn biggest cup snake I've ever seen.
Well, Hunter, you start thinking about, you know,
And then Oliver
when
Luck, the commissioner,
these
put one in there.
leagues have, for the most part, priced out those type of fans
Yeah.
in the lower sections.
Oh yeah.
Now the XFL,
It's like, come on.
the players are drinking beers with the fans after the games
Hell
on
yeah.
the field.
After the game's on the field and in the locker room, they have the Bud Light Seltzer Victory Room.
Yeah, so they're doing some fun things with it. You know,
It's
the price
fun.
the pricing out the expensive fans. You can see that on Sunday. Say if you go to when the Panthers aren't good, when you go to the game, they'll still have the lower bowl will be a lot of empty
Yeah,
seats
it's
because it's so
empty.
expensive to go to a game. Even in the upper deck for a family of 4,
Yeah.
it's over $200.
Where did the Vipers just play at last? I can't remember because I was about to ask if it was in Tampa Bay. Like even for even with those prices being reasonably priced,
Mhm.
and the team is that bad, they'll still pull a crowd because like I said, the tickets, and like you said, the tickets are cheap.
Yep.
Like you want to go and see a sporting event? Who cares? Might be a couple bucks, like maybe $25 a seat, maybe.
Yeah.
Even cheaper.
All right, Hunter. We'll wait till Wednesday. Talk with NASCAR with Zach. I've
Yeah.
got to get out of here early today. Actually,
That's perfectly fine.
to
I got some stuff I could get to as well.
I've got to pick up my son today. The school's doing something special, so I got to get over and get him early
Got
from
it.
school. But we got a few more minutes. So we
Early
can,
from school.
well,
What time do they get out?
not late from school. They've got an after school program today,
Oh, okay.
and my wife teaches over there, and so I have to go grab him.
No, I got you.
Um,
Well, it's 3:25. What time do you have to
he
get
gets
it?
out at 3.
Oh. Oh.
What, Hunter?
Parenting at its finest. He's fine. He's with his mother.
I was about to say, his mother is the teacher. He's in her room right now doing his homework. So,
There you go.
I am working. Put it that way.
Yes, you are working.
I am working.
We're giving the people what they want. Content.
This is one I gotta remember this for Saturday.
Yeah.
So let's just do some fun news and notes and things
Go
real
ahead.
quick. Romo is getting paid 10 years, $180 million.
I thought it was 170. Did it go
They've
up?
changed it
Oh.
with incentives that adds up to 180.
Oh.
Jerry Jones
Yeah.
bought the Dallas Cowboys in
I've seen
1989
this.
for $140 million. Romo getting paid to announce Cowboys games more than Jerry Jones
Paid for the Cowboys.
for the Dallas Cowboys.
Stupid. That's so stupid.
So I said he could have bought the Louisiana Purchase 12 times if he was broadcasting in 1803 because that's how inflation works.
Oh,
So there you
I'm glad
go.
we have the internet.
Yeah, sometimes it wins, sometimes it doesn't. All right, I'm going to call it from there.
Go right
Got to
ahead.
make a run.
We got stuff.
All right, guys. Wednesday we'll do NASCAR with
Yeah.
Zach. We'll let him look at the all-time teams and laugh at some of Terry and Tom's and Andy and them's
Can we just?
mess. That was ridiculous.
That was tough.
How did
Hey,
Robert-
Tom, if you're listening, like and share first of all. But let's use our
Listen.
brain next time.
I don't know how Robert Parrish got brought up in any all-time great anything. Anything.
I mean, people could say the same thing about my blacktop team having Rondo on
Well,
it, but
I was
it don't
about
matter.
to, I was about to say I also did not expect when we were talking about all-time blacktop teams that Rondo and Jamal Crawford were going to be.
Look, Jamal Crawford is
brought up.
nasty, so I can understand Jamal Crawford. I just remember Rondo puts together like street. He played
Listen,
hard,
if y'all were
plays
at-
hard defense.
Listen, if y'all were in charge of the B and C teams, more power to you. But we're talking the all-time best ones right here.
Look, man, I got the 7'2"
You could
diesel.
sneak up on some people at the park with Jamal Crawford because they wouldn't know who he was. I'm walking out with Kobe
Jamal
and Michael
Crawford is nasty.
and Dirk and you guys right here with Jamal Crawford. And
Look, man, I got the
Rondo.
7'2" diesel. Okay, Shaq Diesel. We'll be okay.
I got Yao.
Shaq Diesel.
Shaq is a Oompa Loompa.
Wait.
To
Now, what
Yao,
was it? What
Yao
was he
Ming.
called? What was it? He was Shazam.
He was Shazam.
Yeah, he was just. It was bad Shazam.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We'll see you Wednesday. We'll be back more Wednesday. NASCAR, NBA. Maybe we'll have some NFL news by then.
Hopefully.
More predictions and other stuff. Thank you for watching and listening to Shock JOXX Monday broadcast on KTCBroadcasting.com.